Before.
You know, before the time. Alrighty. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you might find yourself in whatever time zone you might be. We would just like to welcome you to our YouTube channel, and we have some insights to share.
Yeah, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We said after we reached the 1 year mark, we were quite settled, and we thought we not gonna gatekeep. Seeing that is the latest term, we're not gonna gatekeep on how we came to Ireland, but we would like to share with our YouTube viewers on how we were able to immigrate from South Africa to Ireland.
As always mentioned, this is our opinions, this is our experience, and our perspectives. Today, I would like us to jump into where it all started.
Okay, so I am in the engineering industry for 12 years, and over that 12 years, I had quite a few encounters or engagements with.
And I remember just us discussing intern or random people reaching out to you from Ireland,
Yeah.
telling you about the various job opportunities. I remember the first time we basically just got married.
Yeah, and we
few
were
months-
like, no, that this is too risky. We're still getting to know each other. We can't go do it in a different country.
True. Second time, I remember our firstborn was basically just born. It was about a month or two old.
Yeah.
2 months old. And then the third time I remember,
We just bought a
we
new
just
house.
bought our new property in Cape Town, and we were focused on that.
Yeah.
So we turned it down again. And
The Lord will bring things, keep on bringing things around until you say yes. I feel like that is one. Because when this recruiters would inbox me on LinkedIn, I would be so fed up. I would message, like, tell my colleagues, like, these people's again bothering me, because they would like, even though you say, like, no, you're not interested, they're like, okay, just, I will let you know of any positions and whatever. And yeah, they just kept on. But then one day, I got an inbox on LinkedIn from a direct company from Ireland, and we then set up an interview for the 24th of September on Heritage Day, Bride Day, and we were having a bride house, and I
I
just
remember the house was still smelling like
and
dry.
I think the Springboks was playing, because I still remember chirping with my now boss about the Springboks and the Irish game. I think the Irish won. Yeah, I think Ireland won. Yeah, Ireland won, I think, by a few points. But anyway, so I had an interview the 24th of September, and a week later they made me an offer, and I was like, okay. We then told, me and Keegan then said, okay, let's go ahead. Even if I accepted the offer, my visa first needed to be approved in order for us to go over. So we said, okay, this is just the offer. We still need a
And
visa.
I think at this point of the journey, we slowly moved from never to what if.
Yeah. It's a possibility. And then after that, I gave all my documents to the HR, and he sent my visa application off the first week in November. I think we put it to the back of our minds, because we said the visa could go either way. They could take me or they could not take me. I said, okay,
And I think this was part of our story throughout this transitioning journey, where, you know, when you're in your comfort zone and you are looking for a reason not to step out,
Sure.
you tend to be like, any sign that I'm getting now, any blockage, any bump on this road, it's a sign from God that we don't have, that we mustn't leave.
I told Keegan, if this visa is declined, I'm not going anywhere. This is a sign from the Lord. The recruiters must stop, because I'm not going to Ireland. But the first week in December, lo and behold, in my inbox, the Irish embassy emailed me to let me know that my visa was successful. And I was like, wow, okay, now what do we do now? things are now real. And I remember my company, this was now the first week in December, they asked me, can you be here the first week of January? I'm like, January? Like, how do you expect me to pack up everything and come in 3 weeks? And then ask them, can I please have till the end of March, 1st of April, beginning of April? And they agreed. So we basically had 3 months to pack up our house and our whole lives in Cape Town and to move to Ireland.
Exactly, and I think we during the December period and in the January period, we were still caught up in the festivities.
Yeah,
And
I know
Cape
festive.
Town, hey,
There's no festive season like Cape Town's festive season. Nothing compares to Cape Town's festive season. I feel like it's just a mood and a vibe. Like it's just happiness all around. And that's why we did. It didn't sink in until like February. We were like, hey, like. But I think January started selling our stuff and getting our
I
things
still remember
together.
the New Year's Eve when everyone was shouting Happy New Year.
Yeah.
We ended up breaking the news to our friends that, guys, this will be our last New Year as
South African residents.
yes. And yeah, there was a bit of mixed emotions
Yeah, they were
regarding that.
asking, how could you do this to us now? We're supposed to be celebrating 2024. But yeah, that was basically our journey. And so from I interviewed the 24th of September and the 25th of March, we flew out. So it was basically 6 months, which is quite short. I know people plan like for years, 2-3 years, because it's a lot goes into it. But oh, the favor of the Lord will take a lot and make it and summarize that into 6 months. And I literally feel that this is what God done for us, like the favor and the open doors that we've experienced in this new and transition period. It's really been amazing, and we know it's from God, man. It's nothing that man can do.
True.
I now want to get into some facts with you guys. I don't want to gatekeep. I want to share on different ways on how you could immigrate to Ireland or any other country if that is something that you wish to do for yourself or for your family or with your husband and your wife, your spouse. The type of visas, there's two types of visas that I know of that's valid in Ireland. It's the critical skills visa and it's the workers visa. So critical skills it's a list of occupations that is in high demand, that there's an extreme skill shortage in the country. And engineering was on that list, and that's the visa that I got. And with the critical skills visa, you're allowed to bring your spouse and your children with immediately. So Keegan and Zeph and Zaya could come with me immediately. And because me and Keegan and our children, we don't have EU passports. We on the Green Mamba, the South African passport, that takes us basically to Ireland and back to South Africa. We don't have much traveling rights, working rights with our passport. We needed a work visa to come into the country. A few of our friends, a few of our South African friends, they actually have EU passports. So they could come and work here because they had EU rights.
And ancestry,
And
claims to ancestry.
claims to ancestry. So you can either have claims to ancestry and then apply for an EU passport, or you can have an EU passport because your parents got the EU passport. So it's different ways, but we don't know that
Side of the
that side
passport
of
journey.
of EU passports, because we don't hold EU passports. I came on a critical skills visa, so we don't know that part of the EU passport. But with my critical skills visa, I was given a stamp, and Keegan, my spouse, was given a stamp 1G.
Which made me eligible to work in any industry within the country or any job within the country, as long as you held
Yeah.
the critical skills permit.
Yeah,
visa.
or my visa. So that's basically how we came over. And then the general workers permit, I know the general workers permit, with that, the company first needs to advertise the post. And if the post is not, they don't fill the post, then you are allowed to actually advertise to other people in different countries. And then, but with the general workers permit, you come over and your spouse and your kids can only come over 1 year later. So I think that's a bit the tricky side of that. But those are the two work permits, a critical skills permit and the general workers permit.
What I must say is, if you are unable to come over on a critical skills permit and bring the family with you, the year that you have to remain in the country whilst having the general worker permit, that year actually goes by quite quick.
It goes by very quickly, and you're also adapting and adjusting to so much. So I feel like our first year went by very quickly.
And with everything, there is a bit of sacrifice.
Definitely. So it's not the worst opportunity. So I'm going to share the links of the critical skills list for Ireland and the general workers list for Ireland below. So you can do your own research. You can go check on the list what careers are there, what skill sets is there, or if you are interested in immigrating, see what you can do, what experience you can gain to open this door of immigration to you or to you and your family. It's a good starting point, eh?
Definitely.
It's a very good starting point. The first step, if you want to immigrate, I think, is to do your research. Choose a country that you think you want to go to, whether it's New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, the US, the UK. Then you go to the embassies or the Department of Labor, and then you just check what skill sets are short in the country or what skill sets are required in the country. And many countries have critical skills lists or general workers lists. I just know more about the Irish ones, so I can share that. But I know many countries have those. So go onto the website if there's a country that you desire to go, and do research, because knowledge is power.
True.
At the end of the day.
It's also important to note that these are skill sets.
Yeah.
And many a times the jobs or the roles that we fulfill might not necessarily have the same title as the skill set required. However, you can still be fulfilling that particular skill set in your role or in your job. And if you can just get more exposure in that regard, you can still try out and apply for the roles in the necessary skill sets.
Yeah, for example, if you see a particular skill set that maybe you're doing 4 out of the 10 things that they require, you can always push in your workplace to gain more experience in the other 6. And even if you don't have the 10, if you have 6, 7, it's okay. You will learn on the job. Welcome to our YouTube channel once again. If there's anything that you would like us to touch on, you can comment below. Or if you haven't already, you can subscribe to our channel and give our video a like. I hope you enjoy what we have prepared for you guys today.
That we've learned throughout this journey is that they can, and just speaking about the skill sets, just because a skill set is common or undervalued in a particular environment, it doesn't mean that it will be common and undervalued in another environment.
Yeah.
There can be other places which will find that skill set as critical. And that's many cases a lesson in life even.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you are bringing is not necessarily of low value, but rather the environment that you are placed
In the wrong place.
It's, yes,
You
a good skill set in the wrong place. And because of that, it can feel as though it's of lesser value. And sometimes it's just as the answer to that is as easy as a change in environment. And then that very same thing, the exact same thing that you were doing, will carry so much more value in the new environment.
Yeah, definitely.
So sometimes, it's just a matter of needing to change the environment.
Yeah, so this video is for you if you want to change your environment. Also, before we say goodbye, I just want to encourage you guys to persevere. I know friends that has applied for a year or for 2 years, and eventually something bites. So just because it didn't bite for the first few months, don't give up, man. I think also another important thing to do is get your CV into the correct format.
Yes.
So get your CV into the Irish format. Don't be like me. I still had my South African phone number. I still didn't even have the +27 on the on my CV. It was just so random. But get your CV into the Irish format. I think that's very important. Or into the format of the country that you're wanting to go to, and just persevere.
And I think where I've seen a big difference in South African CVs to what I've been exposed to in Ireland is over here people tend to lay greater emphasis on the skills learned in the job or the skills one is exposed to within the role, whereas in South Africa you focus more on, no, this is my duties, this and that is what I do, and you move on. which makes a South African CV have less detail
Yeah. Yeah, I must say, so our CVs do have less detail, and I feel like they also have less detail.
to what the Irish CVs have.
Yeah.
And yes, I think in the world of artificial intelligence or AI, if anything, you can ask ChatGPT to give you an example of
Yes.
a.
ChatGPT just now tells the people they're a doctor and they they're not. Don't listen to Keegan, guys. Do your own CV. Don't go to ChatGPT.
I'm not saying they must do a CV on ChatGPT. I'm saying for an example of an outlay
Oh, okay.
of how Irish.
Google's your best bet. I know there are people. There's a group. Oh, this is also what I wanted to share. There's a group on Facebook called South Africans in Ireland. They have everything on that group. They will tell you from schooling to the weather. I will leave a link below. I know lots of countries have such groups. So even if you're just doing research into a particular country, you can join the group for the country. I joined South Africans in Ireland, and it really helped me a lot. And so I will just recommend that you do that as well if you do want to come over.
True.
But yeah, that is all from us.
We look forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Yeah. Bye.